Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about something that I think is a very important topic nowadays, especially if we've learned anything from 2021, it is that there's nothing that is guaranteed and income is never guaranteed. And that's why I think it is so important to have a diversified income. So that's going to be the main topic of today's discussion. So one of the things that I've been focusing on, especially throughout the last couple years, is I didn't want to rely on one source of income because I've seen what happens. When I was 26, about 4 years ago, I had a social media business. Basically, I would create like viral videos for a few different like big corporations, and that was essentially my job. I was making incredible money doing it, and after about a year, on January 1st, when it was kind of like time to renew all the contracts and stuff, all three of the clients that I had, which were paying me insane amounts of money, they all disappeared on the same day. Like none of them wanted to sign, and just happened to be totally random. They didn't know each other. They just all happened to not want to renew the contracts, and it was totally out of my control. They just wanted to go a different way with their business. So after seeing that, I was like, okay, I cannot rely on on one single source of income anymore, especially as an entrepreneur or a business owner, or like even if you're a W-2 person. I think it's really important that you have multiple ways of making money, and that's why I am just such a big fan of like delivery driving and Uber Eats, and like even if it's like a Rideshare or Instacart or any of these kind of like ways you can make money whenever you want, however you want. Like you can make as much money as you essentially want by just continuing to work, and that's like the most beautiful, lucrative way of making money. So let's talk about some of the things that you can do to diversify your income. So first of all, based on my experiences, or what I do now especially, is I have four different ways of making money. I have my YouTube channel, I have my footwear company, but I don't really take any money out of the footwear company. I just like to reinvest it into it. It just seems like business grows much quicker if I'm not taking any money out of it. Then I also have my stunt show, rest in peace. If it wasn't for COVID, we would have had a 23-stop tour this year, and that all disappeared in 48 hours. So another nice little like slap to the face. Like, this is why you don't rely on a same thing, or this for one thing. This is why you don't rely on one source of income, because like I had pretty much given up on my footwear company and my YouTube channel, and I was just like, man, I'm making so much money with these stunt shows. This should be the way to go. And COVID pretty much canceled all live shows, which meant that I went from having a bunch of money coming in, or about to come in. I didn't have any money come in because the COVID shut down the whole entire thing before the tour even started. And it was literally like $100,000 just went poof, gone, just poofed, disappeared, no more money. And I lost money because I had to pay for insurance for a bunch of these shows. And for me, that was quite devastating. I was not prepared for that. But fortunately, what did I do right away? I just went back to doing Doordash. And I mean, I really do not mind doing Doordash, so it's not a bad thing or anything. It's just not my favorite way of making money, but it's always like there for me, you know? So one of the first things that I tell people, especially when they're a Doordash driver or Uber or Lyft, you know, the first thing you want to do is get on multiple apps, because the more apps that you're on, the more chances you have of making money. And who doesn't want to make more money, you know? So like, let's say you have two apps open, you're going to get the choices of two different orders. Maybe one is like McDonald's, and then the next one is like Cheesecake Factory. You're probably going to go with the one that's going to be a little bit more expensive, probably Cheesecake Factory, you know? And if you didn't have two apps open, you would have only had McDonald's or one of the options, you know? So it just helps to have like different options. And frankly, I think you should have as many as you can possibly get signed up by. Because what if, like for me, I would have never known that Doordash was better than Postmates until I got hired by Doordash, and I was like, whoa, I'm like barely ever going to do Postmates anymore because Doordash is so much better. And that was because I went out of my way and I went and signed up on Doordash. It took like a year for them to approve me, but they finally did, and here I am still talking about Doordash. Anyway, so I just think it's very important, like whether you're like a photographer, a personal trainer, an artist, like take a few moments out of your day, especially if you're bored right now. It's Saturday, or I'm probably going to put this out on Sunday or Monday, and maybe if you have some free time, go on Craigslist and look up a few different ways, or look for a few different ways of making money. If you are a personal trainer, just go to the fitness section, or you can go to LinkedIn or any of these business apps and stuff. There's many ways that you can diversify your income, and truly, I think it is one of the most important things that you can do in 2021 is just not rely on one way. Like, especially a lot of my friends, they were like Cirque du Soleil artists, and that was all they did was just go to shows, and like no backup plan. And then all of a sudden, boom, everyone's on unemployment, and then still everyone's kind of sitting around waiting like, oh, our show's going to open back up. And then no, they don't open back up. And it's been a year now almost, and we still don't have shows. And a lot of people are still without income. So just like get off your ass and like go look for different ways. I don't want to sound like a dick or anything, but just look for different ways of making money, because it's going to help if you have something to fall back onto. Like, you never know. Maybe you're working at a job and you don't really like it, and then one person starts mouthing off to you, and then you're like, I cannot deal with this anymore. This person is driving me crazy. I got to get out of here. And then you're like, fuck, but I can't, because I only have one way of making money, and if I quit now, I'm going to go broke. One of the most important things that I tell people when they get a job, this is your chance to get a better job. If you have a job that you don't like, if you have a job that you like, of course stick with it. But if you have a job that you don't like, maybe you're a bartender, or maybe you're a accountant or something like that, and you want to do something better, while you have that safety net of having an income, that's your time to make more money, or not to make more money, but to get a different job and to get a much better job, because you have the choice of like pitching yourself really high and getting a higher rate than you typically normally would if you were desperate for a job. So like, that's personally, I'm just a huge, like, now that like COVID came around and this all thing and happened, and I was like fortunate enough to have like my YouTube channel that was already kind of going, and my footwear company, and I already had Doordash. It was just like, all right, I'm just going to kind of move my resources towards the other businesses that I was already kind of working on. So anyways, if you guys enjoy these videos at all, please consider smashing that like button, because it greatly helps out my channel. And I just want to put out as much free content to help you guys. Free tips, free advice, just trying to help out with things that I've kind of like ran into in my life. And hopefully it helps out a few of you guys in the future. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.